we are going to move on to users can delete a feature, which is pretty cool because we are now officially out of, well, are we? Let's look at our design. Oh, we are not out of our modal yet. This feature modal has seemed to be kind of the bane of our existence, where the most of the complexity of the application is. So I was kind of hoping we were out of it, but we are not. The delete feature button is right there. All right, so we need to add it onto our feature modal. I'm going to the feature modal and going to go all the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to add a button and import it from Chakra UI. And in my button, I'm going to say delete feature. All right, there it goes. All right, so now I want to take a look at how I'm doing this. I think I might want to move this button out. All right, that looks a little bit better. And I'm going to put it in a box. Well, do I need a box? I'm going to say margin, let's do margin 10. Okay, that looks good, but I want it at the bottom of the modal here. So I'm actually thinking, can I add justify content space between? I can. So now we have our delete button, delete feature button at the bottom of the screen, just like that. Okay, so let's add a user story so I can see how it looks. We're just gonna keep adding user stories. All right, it's looking pretty good in my opinion. All right, yeah, I like it. What happens when we get too far? It looks like it just scrolls. That sounds good to me. Okay, cool. So we have our delete feature button. All right, we added that. Now we need to create an on-click function that opens the delete confirmation modal. All right, so what we need to do is we need to bring in the modal then. So I am going to put it right here. Save. I'm going to add missing attributes. And I'm going to go back to my Chakra UI modal to get my imports that I need, which are right here. I'm going to throw it up here. Import, use disclosure. All right. Looks like we have an issue because we're using is open and on close. So I need to look up Chakra UI is open, different name. All right, so it looks like this Stack Overflow is maybe going to work. Okay, so we're gonna say is open, delete, on open, delete, and on close, delete. Okay. So this is just saying that they're unused, that's fine. Okay, so here we're to say is open is going to be equal to is open delete. Okay, and then for our on close function, we are going to do on close delete. Item type is going to be feature, and delete item is going to be a function, but I don't have that function right now. All right, so let's take a look and see if that's opening our modal the way we want it to. And we didn't hook up this button. That's so silly. All right, so we're going to say on click is equal to on open delete. All right, let's give this a try. Perfect. Are you sure you want to delete this feature? You will be permanently deleting all associated user stories and developer tasks. So if I click delete feature, nothing happens because I did not pass in a formula that delete or a function that deletes it. Okay, closing it just closes it. All right, so that's good so far. Let's go ahead and I'm going to move over to my user story details accordion so I can get that delete function, because I'm going to copy it and make it work from there. All right. Let's paste it in and let's go ahead and give it some edits. Okay, so we're not going to say delete story, we're going to say delete feature. Yes, get token, and we want feature ID. Sent. We want this to go to a delete feature route on the API. And I'm going to go over here now because we can go ahead and delete our console log and our little comment note. Okay, I do think we are going to want to set project on return, so we'll leave that. And then here we're going to have success, your feature has been deleted. And here we will say there was an error deleting your feature. All right. So far that looks good. Okay, so then I can go and add that then here. Okay, so we should on delete get the modal, then on delete we should get an error. Yep, there's an error deleting your feature because that route does not exist. Okay. So I thought we have it set to do on close. Do we have it? Delete story. All right, we'll have to look into that. I thought this was going to automatically close if it errors still, but to be honest, I don't know if that's the functionality that I want, so I'll have to think that through. I don't know if that's actually a bug necessarily that I want to change. Okay. So now we need to head to the back end and we need to make that route. Okay, so we're going to start in the controller and we are going to find, let's do the delete user story one. We're going to copy it and we're going to say delete feature, delete feature. We're going to be passing in a feature ID, capitalize that. All right, that looks pretty good. It's just mad because our delete feature doesn't exist on the service. So let's go ahead and make it exist. All right, so we want this to be feature. Feature. Feature, and then this is going to be features service. The rest of it looks pretty good. So we're gonna get the project ID back, then we're gonna go get the project and we'll return it. So now we just need to add this delete feature to our features service. So let's head over to our features service. Okay. And I'm actually going to steal it from the users service because it matches very nicely. And we will go to back to our features service to edit. All right, so instead of delete user story, we'll have delete feature. We're passing in a feature ID. Feature to delete. Right, where ID is going to be equal to feature ID, and then we can get rid of this project. All right, relations. I think relations is just going to be project. And then we are going to say if feature to delete features repository delete feature to delete, and if so, then we will return our features delete dot project dot ID. Otherwise, if we don't find a feature delete, then we will say that they cannot delete that feature. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. We're finding the feature that we want to delete. Okay, then we're deleting it. All right, and then we're going to return the project ID. All right, the only thing that we are missing is, if you see, so I go to delete feature and you can see I get an error. All right, and the error is because we are violating the foreign key constraint issue on the table user story. So that means we need to edit the user story table. Okay, so here we have the many to one feature. Okay, so let's go to our tasks table to see how we handle that. We added an array, or we added an object with a property on delete cascade. So we're going to do the same thing here. Okay, and that should fix it. But we need to go ahead and run our migrations. So the way that we generate the migration first is we are going to change the name of the migration that we're generating. And we do that in our package.json. Then we are going to do npm run migration generate, because we want to generate a migration based on the changes we just made to our entity. Okay? Next thing we want to do is npm run migration run, because we want to apply those changes that we just generated. All right, and it looks like we went ahead and dropped the constraint and then added a new one with on delete cascade. Okay, so let's check that now by actually trying to delete the feature. So I'm going to say delete feature. Your feature has been deleted. That's nice, except my modal did not close. So we do need to go ahead and add on close. All right. So I'm going to say on close delete. Let's try that. Okay, so we got feature 2. I'm going to say delete feature 2. I'm going to say delete. All right, so we also need to then on close, which we passed in. All right, let's try that. Perfect, that looks great. All right. So let's go ahead and do some more testing and then we will see. So now our project has no features, which is okay. So we're going to say feature 1, create, feature 2, create. Let's create some user stories and tasks. User story A. Let's do user story B. Then let's add a task. All right, so let's check out deleting a task. Nice. Let's check out deleting a user story. Are you sure I want to delete this user story? You will be permanently deleting all associated developer tasks. Yes, delete user story. It was deleted. Nice. And then now we want to delete the entire feature. So feature 1 deleted. Are you sure you want to delete this feature? Yes. And it closes and we are left with feature 2. All right, so this will wrap up our users can delete a feature. We made the on click that opens a delete confirmation module. Yep, we edited the module so it's agnostic. It was already agnostic. We created a delete function. Yep. And then we deleted the feature on the API route, or we created the API route, we created the functions necessary on the API route, and there is a success toast. So we are officially done with that user story. Users can now delete a feature, and we only have one user story left, which we will pick up in the next video. All right, see you guys later.